Hello, class. My name is Dave, and I'm your instructor for Mendocino's Spanish 200 online course. The purpose of this video is to help you get right into your work without a lot of confusion about how to proceed. And in the course of this video, I'm going to be discussing the two major components that make up your grade. One is the assignments that we do in Canvas, and the second one is going to be the assignments that we do on our work platform, which is the bulk of your grade, known as Vista Higher Learning. So I'm going to share a screen to get started. Once you get logged into my Mendo and choose our class, which you should be set up for, on the very first, you get started right away on the first day of class if you can. And you're going to be in our Canvas platform. So let's take a look at that. Okay, let's share our screen, and it's this one. You're going to see something that looks like this. Okay, and what I want you to, I'm just going to go do an overview. There's going to be an awful lot of information about things. There's a little video you can watch to help you get started, and some information, but I want you to be aware of this. The announcements is an important page that you need to check out. So click on it. Click on it. Sorry, my computer's taking a little while here. And here's your thing. Here's what you need to see. I'd really like you to read this one especially. Help to get you started. I don't know why it's not at the top of the page, but whatever. It's going to give you an awful lot of information about how to submit your assignments, important just some information about how to use the Vistas and the Canvas platform. I also I would like you to take a look at this one, getting help on an activity in Vistas. You're going to need it eventually, probably just to ask me questions. And there's an email that you can read that I sent out to everybody anyway. So just keep that in mind. There are some assignments that are due in Canvas. So click on the assignments. And you will see a list of the assignments that are due. There's quite a few of them, isn't there? There's 18 of them, as a matter of fact. The one that I really wanted you to be aware of, the instructions are very clear. When you click on this thing, all the instructions are very clear what you have to do, how to submit the assignment, everything like that. But this one I just want to take a quick look at with you, because we are going to have a total of 6 Zoom meetings throughout this course. Don't worry, they are not endless. They only take about 5 minutes usually. But it's a good way for us to stay in touch, and I can check up on your work and see how you're doing, and you can ask me questions and things like that. So we're going to set up our Zoom meeting. It's going to be just a personal meeting on using Calendly. You'll need a Calendly account, sorry. Or maybe you won't. You might not need a Calendly account, because you just have to come here and click. Now, you actually don't need it. I'm sorry. I need one, and I've got one. So you click on this link. It's in the assignment. And just come down here and click on this link, read all this information first, of course, and there's information telling you how to prepare for the assignment too, but then click on this link and you will get this, and just click on this box, 15-minute meeting. It says 15 minutes, but really we're usually done in about 5. So for our first assignment, the due dates are the 15th, the 16th, or 17th. Actually, the due date is the 17th, but obviously I can't handle all my students in one day. So pick a day that seems to work for you, click on it, and you'll get a pretty good variety of courses from morning and the afternoon and even evening ones. Now, if you're a person that works all day or goes to class all day, then you definitely want to get your reservation in, because it's for you. Early for the evening, so don't wait too long. You also have to make these reservations at least 8 hours in advance, because I can't, be checking every 15 minutes if I got a new slot scheduled, right? Okay, let's get back to our work that we have to do in Canvas. If I can find it, there we go, right there. All right, so I want to go mention a couple other things here. Let's go back to our home page. Sorry, this thing is really slow today. Sorry about that. Here we are on our homepage, and there's 2 other things you ought to be aware of, because the calendar is going to show us when our Canvas due dates are. That's not everything. Now, here we are in January, but that doesn't work for us right now. Let's go on to, and also inbox. Be checking this regularly, because I send out a lot of notifications and you just click on it. And you might want to link your student email to your personal email if you don't do a lot of checking on your student emails. Just something to be aware of. So let's go back home, and I'm going to click out of here. We should be back home. Not quite yet. Let's go to one more click. All right, here we are. So this is your Canvas page that you'll definitely want to be checking out. Read all this information. And once you're familiar with Canvas a little bit, then what I really want you to do is come down here, and this should be done right away. Don't wait on this, and I'll show you why in a little bit. You're going to have to purchase your Vistas textbook and access code to do the bulk of the work. 85% of your grade comes from the work you do in Vistas. It's not connected with Canvas, okay? And it's going to cost you some money. I'll tell you a little bit about that. It's fairly easy to do. You're going to just come down here and click on this. I'm not going to do it right now, but click on VHL Central. That's VistaHigherLearningCentral.com/register. Then search for and join Mendocino College in Ukiah and enroll in the correct section. There's more than one sections of Spanish 200 that are using this. This class happens to be 0832. So find that section. That's my section, nobody else's, and click on it, and then you'll be enrolled in the right section of Vistas. Now, it's going to cost you some money. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry about that, but that's how it is, because this is a private company and they have to make their money. This money gets paid directly to them. It's going to be either $115 or $158. And what's the difference? Well, with this one, you actually get a paper textbook. It's not a great textbook. It's just a bunch of paper that's 3-hole punched, so you can put it in a binder, and that'll work. But you don't have to have it, because that textbook is included online. So if you don't feel that you actually need a textbook, the same exact textbook is in our program for $115. And the only reason why you would get this one is if you really want to have a book to look at. Do this stuff right now. You have 32 assignments and 3 quizzes that are due by Sunday, February 12th before midnight. Not to mention, no, sorry, your Canvas assignments are due after that. My bad. So go through this very carefully. You can always ask me questions. I give you my contact information up here, which is, I even give you my phone number if you want to connect. Please don't text me at midnight. I won't, just don't, okay? And but you can text me if you want to, and you can also email me right here at dsamuelmendocino.edu. And I want to give you one more phone number. If you are having troubles getting organized in Vista when you try to, in Vista Higher Learning, when you try to purchase our textbook, call this number. They're actually pretty good. They pick up the phone. Sometimes if they got a huge list, they'll say, leave your number and we'll call you back. Totally worth doing. But these people, I can't really help you with technical issues about Vista. I can help you with Spanish. But if you're having big issues in Vistas, then call this number or let me know too. I might be able to help you with some of it. Don't purchase your online access from any other third party. It's probably not going to have the access that you need. There are cheaper Vista Higher Learning access levels, but they're not going to give you what you need to complete the course material for this class. Okay, so that's about it, all that I wanted to show you about this. But once you complete your Vistas purchase and you're ready to go, I want to show you what's going to happen there. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share to get to a new screen. And we'll go, let's see, how about here? This should work pretty well. Let's go back to my home page. And let me get back to where I was. Okay, so let's share our screen. All right, once you get logged into Vistas and you click on the textbook, you're going to see this. This is your dashboard, okay? It's fairly easy to use, and these are the assignments you got to do, and you'll get more information about this. And these assignments, they give you a due date right here, Sunday, February 12th, 27 activities, 3 quizzes right here in this, in this first part of Vistas. You can just click on Start if you wish to just get going this way. I'm going to show you another method too in just a minute. And they show you the very first thing. Now, this doesn't have a lot of instructions, but you can see that what they want you to do is just listen to this. So you start by playing, and that's pretty simple. And you can go to the next one. Sorry. Next one, you can also see the English if you need to. And I'm going to stop this right now. You can go, so just start going through this stuff and checking it out. And that will help you get going. Let's see, what else did I want to show you on this? Oh, the assignment list. If you want to see all the assignments that you need to do, they're here. Once you've completed them, they'll turn pink and they'll have a check mark. You can click out of this box and you can go back to that anytime you need to, or just down at the bottom. Oh, once you've done this, once you've listened to these things, and you can't just listen, you sort of got to know what they mean, at least start to be familiar with them. You can't memorize them all on the first try, but give it your best shot. When you're ready, you think you're good, hit next activity. And then these are more expressions, just listen to them, click on them, take a look at them, get familiar with them. If you have a question about one, come down here. This is the bottom of every single page and click on Ask Your Instructor. Then, and it looks about the same, doesn't it? Except what you do is anything that's circled in pink allows you to ask me a question. Now, this is fairly simple stuff. I mean, they show you the English and all, so, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. But if you had a question about this, you click on it, then you can type something to me, whatever your question is, and then you could submit it. And that's about it. But then I will get a notification. I will answer you back. And if you get a note, then you'll get a notification and you can see what I say. If you still have a question, you can ask me again. I wanted to show you another way to access your assignments because I really like it. I like it better. Here you are in your dashboard because it's taken forever to boot up. Sorry about that. I don't know why. Okay, you can come here to assignments and click on activities. Sorry. And now you can see all the activities that are due and they give you the due date. By the way, right here, they've got assigned only. It might be on all activities. I would not recommend staying on all activities because it's kind of confusing. You see this thing, but you notice there's no due date. That means you don't have to do it. So I would keep it on assigned only. That way you won't be wasting a lot of time. These are all the things that you have to do in contextos, this section of lesson 1. By the way, here's how you get to other lessons. And we'll be going all the way through 6 and a little bit of 7. But right now we're just going to be in lesson 1. So let's just stay there for the moment. Click on it. Just click on it and see what happens. Nothing for the moment. All right, there you go. And now you can see that what you got to do here is just take a look at all this stuff and click on it. Listen. If you want the English, oh, there you go. Just click on it. You can see that. It'll play and just start to be familiar. You don't have to memorize all those vocab, but you're just going to keep going through the material like this. Okay, you just got to keep working through these things as you go. Once you've viewed it, you can go back and look at it as many times as you want. But then you're going to get down to things where you have to start doing you know, actual work. So they'll give you questions, you know. You can always come back and look at these things again that to help you get your vocab down. And I want to show you one more. Let's see if I could. I'm not sure I got this. All right. Anyway, okay, nothing. Never mind. So just go through those, and it doesn't matter how you access these activities. But you can use this. Here's a fotonovela one. Here is some of them don't have it. Some of these categories don't have anything in them. Like pronunciation, I don't give that to you because you're just going to pick it up as you do these things. It's okay. Cultura has a very short thing where you just read a little bit and then do one quick thing. Here's multiple choice. But then you start to get into the actual grammar. And this is where I want to, you access this thing like this, just do the work and then, sorry, this is really slow today. Oh my gosh. You know what? There must be an awful lot of students starting their work today. I apologize. It just seems to, this is your textbook. Okay, this is what your textbook looks like. You can make it bigger. And you don't need it. This is the textbook, so you don't need to purchase a textbook unless you want to. This is your grammar. One thing that I really want to point out is If we were in a face-to-face class, you'd be spending 4 hours together with me each week, and I'd be explaining this stuff. But it's not going to work that way. I will always answer your questions. I will always help you out. But the learning has to come from your own effort. And that really means that you have to know this material. It means it's a self-study course. And so I strongly suggest taking notes on this material. It's how you'll really learn it. Because there's a lot of stuff we don't have masculine nouns and feminine nouns in English, but we do in Spanish. So you got to understand that concept. If you don't, you check with me. By the way, you can go to the next page, and here's a little bit more grammar. But over here, they started on exercises, but you'll notice that this is not interactive. There's nothing you can click on here. So don't bother trying to do these exercises. All these exercises are actually in the e-text anyway, and that's all you really have to know. All right, to get out of here, just go back and you're good to go. And I'm just going to return to activities. So now you start working on this. This is, again, sort of introductory stuff, but now you could work on an exercise. And I already did this once. And I want to show you what happens when you do make a mistake. This one should have been una fotografía, but they show you that it should be 2 words. They say your mistake was that you didn't have 2 words, but the computer is not smart enough to recognize that this is just a little typo. So they give you no credit whatsoever. And that's why I want you to be aware that if you see that and you go, oh man, I just made a little spelling mistake, then come down here. This one you got right, okay? I got right. I did these wrong on purpose. So if it's green, check, you got it good. There's nothing else to do. But again, I did this one just to show you what happens. Or I misspelled this one and the computer's not smart enough to realize that it should have just been a V instead of a B. I missed the key. Come down here and ask your instructor again, okay? And then say something like, hey, Dave, I just misspelled, whoops. I guess it's supposed to be 2 S's, huh? This, and then submit it. And I will give you credit for that. I'll give you at least partial credit for anything like that. Sometimes spelling counts, but for a little thing like that, I'll just give you credit, right? Now, I can't do that right here because this is the student thing, but you could go back to activities, and that's what's going to help you get a better grade on these things. So that reminds me of something that I really want to show you in here. Checking on your grade is really important because the computer makes an awful lot of, well, the computer doesn't make mistakes, but it doesn't understand all the errors that you make, like if you just forget to hit the space bar. So come to grades. This is important now. This will be, okay, there's nothing shown here right now, but this will show you your overall progress as we go through the course. But where you want to go to check scores is over here on scores. So click it, and then you can see your work. So some of these things I've done, I got 100%. You don't have to recheck on anything, you got 100, but maybe you want to know why you got an 80 on this one, right? So you can click on it. And we've taken, no, we didn't see this one, but I got, if you have a question about this, you go, hey, Dave, why did I, oh, by the way, remember, the red means this is the answer you chose, but it wasn't the right answer. So it had to be one of these 3. If you understand why, okay, then just move on. You learned and good. But if you don't understand why this is the proper answer, then come down to ask your instructor. And by the way, for each assignment, you get 2 tries. So I could retry this one. Now I get to do this again, except this time, I'm not going to check this one. Which one would I check? Bien, gracias, no hay de qué, no muy bien, regular. I'm going to pick this one this time, okay? Because that means don't mention it. Now I'm going to submit it. And hey, I got 100%. Yay, I'm doing great. All right, then you can just go to the next activity if you want to. Or as usual, you can return to activities. Sorry, this is just an eternity. Sorry about that. And you can go back to this. By the way, you have quizzes that are due. So if you go to your dashboard, you'll see that down here, there's some quizzes as well, and they give you the due dates. And of course, this one says it'll be available on the 30th, but it'll show you when it's due, and you can start a quiz. As you complete this kind of stuff, you need to be aware of when certain quizzes are due. I'll show you how to do that. Let's go to assignments. and click down to calendar. So this is an important thing, assignments down to calendar. And there's nothing due in January because we're just starting the course. So let's go to February. And you can pretty clearly see that by the 12th of February, so here's the 30th, we got 1, 2 weeks, and now you've got 32 assignments, 1, 2, 3 quizzes that are due by the 12th. Right after that, so the pace of this course is very fast. I mean, you really have to move along to keep up with this course material, and I hope you will. Don't fall too behind. It's going to hurt your grade. By the 19th, you've got 25 more assignments to do, another grammar quiz, and a lesson test. And that's all got to be completed by the 19th. And you'll get more when you read the material in Canvas about how to, late work, submitting late work, if it's possible. In Canvas, you cannot submit any late work. It's due by the due date. It's a 0 if it's not in. But in Vistas, you can submit work late, but it's a 5% penalty per day late for every assignment or quiz that you turn in late. So just be aware of that and try to make sure that you've got your assignments in on time. Let's get back to, let's go to our, let's go back to the dashboard. And I think that we're pretty much done at this point. And I don't think I have too much. Another way to, the last thing I want to show you, another way to access your quizzes is to go here to assessment. Assessment means your quizzes and tests. And I'm not sure why this is saying no assignments have been scheduled. It's probably because we haven't started the course yet. But I also want to show you this. Down here at the bottom, Support Center is not a bad thing to be aware of if you're having glitches with Vista. For example, I believe that a lot of Mac users, Apple users, experience difficulties with the Vista Higher Learning platform. I'm not sure why that is. And it's not great, but it evidently does happen a little bit. No, this is just taking forever. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. If you have a question about Vista, you can always ask me. I'll try to help you. But if it's a technical question like, hey, I click on this link and nothing happens, so what's going on? Then you might want to check with technical support. You're a student, so click on student. And then they've got all these things that they help. They're hoping that you can figure it out yourself, frequently asked questions, troubleshooting, etc. And there are some good articles in here. But if it's not going to work out for you, then you can submit a request to them. This is not going to get to me. I won't know about it. But then you can just put in your email address. Your student email address is that's definitely the best one because that's what you should be using for Vista. I would, whatever email address you use to log in and get started in Vistas, use that one anyway. Subject, you could just put this course name or whatever, and then give a description of your problem. Then they got something like this, is it help with store purchases, general assistance, compatibility, like is your Mac not letting you do certain things, account help, you can't access things, whatever, pick it. Program you're using would be the VHL super sites. That either one of these doesn't really matter. And this thing is going to be Canvas, by the way. Okay, this is actually not, it's optional. It's not that big a deal if you don't know it, don't remember it. Web browser might help them. They'll just ask you if they need to know. But if you know, go ahead and put it in, et cetera, and then hit submit, and then you're all done, okay? So let's get out of here. And I can't think of anything else that I really need to tell you right now. So I guess that's about it for the moment. So what I'm going to do is say goodbye for now, but keep in touch and keep in mind that you've got an awful lot of assignments to do, and I will be glad to help you with them if you're having any trouble. So, okay, bienvenidos, welcome a la clase. And I'm glad to be working with you. And let me know if you got any questions. All right, bye-bye for now. Hasta luego.